We're going to see another chopper engagement off the start, and I'm Ph4tso, joined with ScopeR. Welcome back to it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look and see what Runic will do off the start. Are we going to see a similar tactic as what we saw previously?
BzK have got the better chopper side for the start. I don't really like the fact that they're using ECM first, but let's see how it goes.
As we see bailing out. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no. They're going down.
No,
yeah, the chopper is flipped. There's no way to get out of that unless he's self-repairing.
Did he manage to rescue that? Did he swing it round? Oh
yeah,
my
luckily
goodness.
he went into a straight vertical dip and not upside down, because once you're upside down, you're down. But
he has
he
survived.
hit with a stinger, he's down.
But he managed to survive, so at least that blade ticket won't go down. But,
yeah, but
the flip side,
haven't got the B
they
flag,
lost
so they're going to
Bravo
start getting
flag.
bled soon. As soon as the DC tank has got that back flag, then the bleed starts. There we go.
And realistically though, ScopeR, we can kind of stick around and just watch. And DC can just sit back, sit pretty, smile down, and just wait for BzK to approach them, pick them off as they so choose.
Yeah.
But here we go. He has a little back rage by Antagonist. Antagonist has gotten right behind. Oh my goodness, how's that? Right behind Euphoria's tank. Euphoria will be looking around. Antagonist will be just irritating the hell out of him. Oh my gosh, he's managed to disable it. Oh, and unfortunately,
that was a ballsy jump out from
yeah,
Euphoria.
Yeah, definitely by Euphoria, and he does pay the price going down to .exe of BzK, guys. For those of you that have played Battlefield, especially competitively, you know, rule number one of armor is you never bail out of your armor. And the .exe going down to Bucky. So a bit of a great engagement we saw there between Charlie and Bravo, and nearly resulting in a stolen tank, ScopeR. We've seen it before.
Yeah, they did also have one guy left to complete the push after the tank went down, but Bucky's with some nice game sense. He got the call that the tank was down, and perhaps some more were pushing, and he spawned on C there, thought it out the push, and now it comes back to B. Let's see, the choppers are engaging again.
Yeah, we do like Bucky's, and as you're talking of him, we just saw him take a good pick, and he's also going to be able to approach Bravo flag as the choppers go at each other. And let's quickly switch to Axon's POV to have a look how he's doing in the chopper. A lot of flares going around, taking fire. He's got King with him, who's spinning spanner very fast there. But the choppers again swaying in and out. What is happening? Look at those choppers dancing in the sky of
It looks like BzK has the
Shanghai.
advantage, but it can turn so easily. He's
Definitely.
doing the full retreat.
Yeah, Axon running away, but picking up immediately, and it's going to become a cannon battle at this point. And oh my goodness, Axon takes it. He gets the trip for his efforts. Great work by Axon there. He'll be happy about that, and kind of will be telling his captain, sorry boss, that's making up for the mess up of the previous round. And it's going to Bravo flag, ScopeR. A lot of action.
A very quick cleanup. There is about 5 guys on the flag. He does a good job picking off 2 at the start. They need to really get this flag quickly now.
Yeah, it is quite a tricky situation, and there are still troops there. As we look at third-person POV, the red Doritos will be Elements players. As we see Axon just strafing around, and those 2 Element players are going to have to play very carefully. We see Sumi together with Antrix. Let's look at Antrix's POV. They'll know that they're getting surrounded though, ScopeR.
Ph4tso, I must be honest, the B push is less important for DC at this moment than A. They've got C. BzK have got 1 guy contesting C, but what is nice is that DC has put 4 guys on A. Now with a tank there, you're actually never going to get them out. So BzK is wasting their time with their tank on A. They should be pushing C. Because if you see at the moment, DC has got their tank protecting C, and the 1 guy from BzK who's pushed there now won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, and that's why I was looking for having a professional Battlefield casting with us. There you had it straight from the horse's mouth, guys. Maybe a change in priorities is required, as we see Sapphire doing some good work there to make sure that the attack does continue.
They've already lost.
It's too late.
Yeah.
They lost their gimme.
We're below.
We're below the 184.
So yeah.
That's GG for map 1. To damage controls elements, and we'll still see this round kind of play itself out, but that's unfortunate, definitely unfortunate to see BzK lose by that larger margin, and definitely not a true reflection of the game. I'm sure it was quite intense for all the players.
Yeah, but the fact that DC have got such a nice bleed on the second round. Again, just perhaps does some justice to the first round score, even if there was the server disconnect.
And then we just see
double chopper takedown
choppers going down, choppers trading, and only the one BzK troop surviving. But like we mentioned, it's not going to be enough, irrespective of whether they take alpha flag or not for BzK. They have lost this first round, and that means we'll be going through to the second one, where BzK will be on the back foot against Element. Next map is not Rogue Transmission, apologies, will be Hainan Resort. Great map, my favorite map in Battlefield 4 competitive play. And you, what are your thoughts about it, ScopeR?
I do like it, especially now with the change that's coming up without the jet. Without that, it means that we won't have the instant back flag rage, spawn, bomb nightmare to deal with that we've been used to seeing, because essentially teams just take the jet from the start and they have the choice of either going straight to B or the opponent's back flag, and normally it's the latter. And then it just becomes a case of having to weed out all of these guys before your armors even got out of the base. And now it's quite interesting because it's going to have a nice dynamic between the heli and the APC, and potentially the heli, as well as maybe some boats, going to play some part in determining who gets the middle flag.
A big role, yeah. You would have seen, if you'd watched Hainan Resort, guys, those attack jets were just absolutely devastating, tearing apart anything in their way. So the boats didn't really feature much, and that's something that now, memory serves me correctly, we never did see the boats on Hainan Resort feature, because whenever they went up, if a jet was up, they'd be down immediately because of those cannons. So a better change, and I'm also a big fan of it. I like the extra dynamic, but the state of jets in Battlefield 4 not 100% in my honest opinion. So I'm kind of happy that they're out of the picture, sticking to the true roots of competitive Battlefield, where infantry and armor play take precedence, as we see.
Yeah, look, for sure. I mean, the jet had to be banned out of necessity because of its bug with the damage when it flies at a certain height. But I think it was at least it gave us a good excuse to get rid of something that was actually causing more problems, even aside from the bug, which is the fact that it's a free flag cap. And when I mentioned the boat, it's not a critical part of the map. I think it's actually going to be underutilized for the most part, but I think it does add a nice little sneaky factor to it.
Yeah, and I just see a question there from Gandalf in the Twitch chat. This is a best of 3. Oh my goodness, Axon with a triple team kill. In any case, this is a best of 3 tournament layout, which means that the best of 3 maps will be played. And yeah, there is a Twitch delay, guys, so I see the chat after it's kind of come through, and that's to ensure fair play. So best of 3, and the first map is going to go in favor of Element, as we've mentioned. It is GG, but we see antagonists not making life easy are the BzK guys. They're just harassing, as we see Euphoria getting harassed by antagonists. Jonathan will be lolling a bit while he's doing that, I'm sure. And oh, eat the tank slug, says Euphoria. It's nice to see that. It's nice to see. Sorry.
Funny just quite some funny engagements with the tank at the end. Yeah, I think guys are taking it a bit more casually now that the round's over, and especially on A flag, seeing guys drop down, hide behind walls. That tank has just been underneath that A flag for ages.
And that tank is just kind of sitting there, Sticky's tank, stuck in the shops, maybe doing a bit of window shopping, driving over mannequins, not really being very effective at all at this point. And he's almost been ignored completely as well, otherwise he would have been C4'd. It's not a nice area for your tank to be stuck in. I think any tank driver would know that that is a very precarious area. ScopeR.
You can get out of there, but yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Oh, so this one's just going to play out, guys. Damage control will be smiling. They'll be happy that they took the round and how convincingly they took it down, even though Runic will be drilling the troops on the roof. They'll be happy with the amounts of tickets. It's a large margin, 180 plus tickets, and BzK will now need to regroup and bring back the pain in Hainan Resort, which we have seen them do before. I have no doubt that the next round, touch wood, technical issues aside, will be as easy as what this one was. And definitely. So recap, ScopeR, nice to have you with us. What do you think of competitive Battlefield 4 right now? The state of Battlefield, the state of the game competitively. Forget about the casual, forget about the pub stomping. From a competitive player's POV, maybe I've just taken this opportunity to have an impromptu interview with you. How do you feel about competitive Battlefield, dude?
It's a bit of a sore point actually, now that you mention it. But I think everyone recognizes the fact that we've been dealt a fairly dodgy card with respect to BF4 and how Battlefield competitively has deteriorated slightly through the various series that we've got out of EA and now DICE. But I think for at the very least, we have a game that is now playable when it comes to certain mechanics that were a lot broken before. A lot of the annoying mechanics have been at least softened, and at least from an infantry perspective. So I would say it's playable, but from a strategic perspective it's still a bit lacking. There is obviously there is a need to develop strats per map and against various teams and that sort of thing. Obviously, I mean, it's Battlefield, but the point is that strategies are less effective than in previous titles because of the fact that there's these maps are so much bigger. So you can strat all you like for a certain map, but one thing could go wrong and you could be left without a way to get to a flag, and you'll be traveling for ages to get to a new one, or your opponent will hide in a place that's not easily visible and then just spawn bomb the hell out of your flags, which is very difficult to deal with. And the spawn bombing problem is not really strategically a very difficult thing to execute. It's not very clever. Well, I wouldn't say clever, but it's not difficult to execute. It's just very annoying to deal with, and I wouldn't call that a strategic play. More of a taking advantage of what you can in a bit of a broken game. So yeah, I guess quite a long-winded answer for you there.
No, it's just I kind of feel the same. I did compete originally in Battlefield 4, and it just for me personally, the issues that have now slowly started being dealt with should have been dealt with up front. If you guys will recall, EA and DICE did market Battlefield 4 with esports capability. They wanted it to be quite a serious esports title. It was part of their marketing gimmick. They said that they'd have a whole bunch of esports tools. There was a spectator tool which they promised would be amazing out the box, which it wasn't. There was the hit rate, which arguably was worse in the final release as to what it was in the beta. And just from my point of view, I wasn't happy with the state of the game, and I didn't feel it had a strong enough competitive edge. It didn't have that even ground. There were bugs that would kind of cause the game not to unfold the way it should. That is, the better team winning and the worst team losing on the day. And it's just, it was something that I didn't like, and it's a sore point for us. And just like the first round's issues, a sore point too, but this one is going to be going in favor of Damage Control's Element. It's GG to them for the first map, guys. We'll be right back after this short break with Hainan Resort. I'm Ph4tso and I'm joined with ScopeR. Thank you very much for joining me, ScopeR. We'll be right back, guys.